And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome here to Dover International Speedway, the Monster Mile, as we get ready here today for the running of the Last of Us Left Behind DLC 300, and we're getting ready for a 40-lap event here at a very difficult track, but a track that brings about really good racing. We had a really good Truck Series event here yesterday. Looking forward to see here what the Mobil1 Cup Series cars will do as we draw ever closer to the midpoint of the regular season when we will be getting set for All-Star Race weekend. A lot of these drivers want to punch their ticket into that All-Star race, and a way to do it would be to win today's event, and we'll see if somebody's able to do it here today. On the point is going to be Dylan Poteet, a former Mobil1 Cup Series chaser. As a matter of fact, he was a two-time winner last season, and he is already locked into this season's All-Star race in the Mobil1 Cup Series, but he'd love to be able to pick up a win here this season, especially due to the fact that he comes in 34th in the current points. It's been a very tough start to the season for a couple of the Tweenix cars. The only one that really seems to be doing well so far is Sean Henley, and he's 11th in points. So Poteet with a good qualifying spot. And alongside of him, a driver who's also punched his ticket into the All-Star race, Luke Walker, who ended up picking up the win at Coca-Cola Speedway just a few weeks ago. He'll start on the outside of row number 1, looking for his second win of the season. Then in row 3, we got Jake Rogers in the 19. Rogers comes into this race 32nd in points, so he's got himself a good qualifying spot for today's race. And alongside of him, former Mobil1 Cup Series champion Sean Galligan lines up in the 4th position. He's 5th in the current points coming to today's race, and he's another driver who is also already locked into this season's All-Star Race event. And then the top 5 completed by Wolfgang Mason, who actually started out the season really well, but a couple of really tough weekends have put him down to 27th in the current points. And he is another driver who has also locked himself into the All-Star race after he had a win last season in the Mobil1 Cup Series. But there are a number of drivers in this field who have yet to make their way into the All-Star race, and if they could win here today, they could have it happen. The points coming into this race are actually somewhat close. They were really close in the Truck Series event, and they're kind of close here today. They could be closer when we leave, but Dylan Young comes in as the points leader. He picked up the points lead after a solid run last week at Talladega. Dylan Schwallenberg and Levi McIntyre, the rookie points leader, come in tied for second with 240 points apiece. 4th in points, we said, was Luke Walker. 5th in points, Sean Galligan. Our winner last week at Talladega, Zach Rogers, has moved himself up to 6th in points. Chris Washer's 7th in points. Our Truck Series winner here yesterday, Joshua Michaels, is 8th in Mobil1 Cup Series standings. 9th in points is Ralph Mason, and Joshua Collard completes the top 10 in the current standings. But it's time to get them rolling off, have them complete a couple of pace laps, and while they do that, we will show you your 42-car starting grid for today's Last of Us Left Behind DLC 300 from Dover International Raceway. It's going to be an interesting one. These drivers have taken part in Dover International Raceway Truck Series race yesterday. We'll see what they could do here today as here's your starting grid. For Tweenix Racing to go to victory lane this season was back at the headquarters of Tweenix Racing in Phoenix International Raceway. Dylan Poteet ended up finishing 2nd, Sean Henley finished in 3rd, and it was behind the Drew Austin machine. They were so close in getting a Tweenix Racing 1-2 finish, but Dylan Poteet going to try and get a Tweenix car to victory lane here today. Luke Walker, though, trying to get that 2-car to victory lane for the 2nd time this season. It'd be the first time the 2-car has gone to victory lane twice in a single season. It only went to victory lane once with Charles Jackson. That was at Daytona last year. Here they go, though, coming out of turn 4. Flagman is ready. We're ready. Green flag is out. We're underway here at Dover. Trent Dunham running the Bass Pro Shops colors this week. Peeked out of line there. Wolfgang Mason thinks better of it. Tucks back in line. And now he looks again. This time, though, Wolfgang Mason throws the block and looks 3 wide for second underneath Jake Rogers and Luke Walker. But Rogers appeared to get a good run through the middle of the corner there. He's going to keep the second position. Contact there between Wolfgang Mason and Sean Galligan heading out of turn 4. They keep it together, though. We're still green flag racing as they are 2 by 2 by 2 all the way back through this field. Contact again, this time between Wolfgang Mason and Trent Dunham. This is a hornet's nest back here. A couple of the Turner Scott Motorsports cars there. James Silverfox in the 34, Cassandra Renzi in the 31. Harrison Langford's in there, Ralph Mason, and last week's winner, Zach Rogers. As up front, we got a battle for the lead possibly heating up, and the caution flag is waving for the first time today here. Poteet, Walker, Rogers, that's the top 3 right now as they're going to come down here to our first yellow. This must have been near the rear of the field because I don't see a whole lot of cars split up here in the middle of the pack. So jump back here, make sure nobody wrecked coming down to the caution. Looks like everybody is good. And the caution looks like it came out for James Qualls and Charles Jackson, supposedly. Let's look back here again real quick. We've seen before here drivers wreck under the caution flag. Think back to the Truck Series race. James Silverfox, minding his own business, was inside the top 10, got turned around and wrecked, and ended up retiring. But there is James Qualls, and just up ahead, somewhere, where is he? Oh, there he is. There's Charles Jackson on pit road. Boy, Charles has had a tough Mobil1 Cup Series season in that 5 car. He'll pull into his pit stall. Looks like they're going to try and get the damage repaired on that car. James Qualls with pretty extensive damage on his 15 Toyota Camry as well. He'll probably be coming down pit road this time, I would say. As Dylan Poteet is the current leader, under the first caution of the day here at Dover, we may have gotten away with a 2-car incident. Don't know. Andy Timmons may have gotten a little piece of it as well. Let's take a look at a replay of what happened to put us under the yellow for the first time today here at the Monster Mile. Well, here's a look at what happened. 3 wide here with Dylan Schwallenberg, Zachary Robinson, and Charles Jackson. And Charles appears to actually come down into the 24. Then he gets slid across the nose of Dylan Schwallenberg. That's second in points, too. I don't know how bad the damage is on the front of the Turtle Beach. Well, that's not Turtle Beach on that car. I don't know what the sponsor is on that one right now. But then Charles hits the inside wall, comes back up, gets to Andy Timmons, and then James Qualls clobbers him there. So Andy Timmons did get a piece of that in the 25. A tough break for James Qualls, 12th in points, even though he didn't take the green flag at Daytona to start off the season. And he gets collected in this, and looks like he's been able to continue, but that car is definitely going to be damaged and off the pace, I would assume. We had a 3-car incident basically here with Jackson, Timmons, and James Qualls. Puts under the caution. Let's head back now for the restart. Nobody decided to come down pit road under that caution flag, since it was basically only about 4 or 5 laps that on these tires that these drivers had run under green flag conditions. So Dylan Poteet will still be the leader. Second place is going to be Luke Walker. Jake Rogers third, Wolfgang Mason fourth, and Trent Dunham is in fifth. Cassandra Renzi up in sixth. There you see Charles Jackson. He is a lap down. I believe he's running in the 42nd position. James Silverfox runs in 7th, 8th Harrison Langford, Levi McIntyre is up to 9th, and 10th place is Ralph Mason. Then Zach Rogers is in 11th, 12th is Sean Galligan, 13th is James McLeod with Chris Washer 14th, and 15th is Joshua Michaels, and the rest of the top 20 are Sean Henley, Austin LaPlante, Jake Cole, Dylan Young back in 19th, and Henry Nova, his teammate, lines up in 20th position. I believe all 4 of the Turner Scott Motorsports cars are running inside the top 20 as we currently speak. Getting ready to go back to green flag racing here. Only one driver is a lap down. That's Charles Jackson. He is 42nd. 1 lap off the lead. Everybody else is still on track and on the lead lap, including Andy Timmons, Dylan Schwallenberg, and James Qualls. The green flag is back out again. Let's see how quickly Dylan Poteet is able to get around Charles Jackson. Looks like he got around him pretty quickly. So did Luke Walker. Now Jake Rogers trying to rim ride the high side around the number 5 Tax Slayer Chevrolet. Now Wolfgang Mason's going to open up a line down low for everybody to pass by from 4th on back. Luke Walker, though, got as good a restart as Dylan Poteet did, and he is now all over the back bumper of the Caterpillar Chevrolet out of Twinks Racing. And here comes the Shore Lodge Chevy to the inside. Luke Walker is going to get by for the top position. Jake Rogers now looking for that hole to keep open to go underneath Poteet for second. Looks like he's trying to get there, couldn't do it. Poteet got a good run there in the entrance of turn 3. He'll hold on to second place, but new leader, the 2 of Luke Walker. And Luke Walker comes into this race 4th in points, 26 points back. He's a former winner back at Coca-Cola Speedway. Would love to enter the All-Star race as the only 2-time winner so far this season in the Mobil1 Cup Series. We already have one over in Oreo Truck Series competition, that of course being Jacob Lawler. And Luke Walker has opened up a lot of daylight between himself and Dylan Poteet and Jake Rogers, who are currently in a good tussle for the 2nd position, but doesn't look like it's going to matter because the caution flag is out again. Caution flag waves for the 2nd time here today, so they'll race it back to the line. Walker will be the leader, Poteet 2nd, Rogers 3rd. Dunham is now up to 4th with Wolfgang Mason right behind him in 5th place. And I jumped quickly up to the leader because here at Dover, I don't know what it is, but these drivers always seem to not slow down very well once they've crossed the start-finish line, and sometimes drivers who have wrecked on the front straightaway down to turn 1 have not yet been able to fire up their cars and drive away. And I've seen several times here at Dover where the leaders will wreck with the cars that have wrecked in turn 1. As you saw James Qualls up ahead, I almost wonder if maybe he had another incident happen with his 15. Daniel Day, former winner this season, is on pit road as well in the 22. Qualls going to pull into his pit stall. More repairs being made to the 15 machine. I doubt that's a regularly scheduled stop. But right now we're watching the leader, Luke Walker. Let's see what's going to happen here. He's going to pull into his pit stall just before the start-finish line, as you see. Going to be at least right side tires on the Shore Lodge Chevy out of Kevin Harvick Incorporated. Are they going to go for lefts as well? Yes, they are. 4-tire stop here on lap 13 of 40. And Wolfgang Mason's off pit road. Jake Rogers off. So is Levi McIntyre. Where's Dylan Poteet? Is it going to be up Adel off pit road? Oh, wow. Really close. That first pit stall almost worked out for the pole sitter Poteet, but Walker gets off first. Poteet 2nd. Dunham 3rd. Wolfgang Mason 4th, and a good battle for 5th there. Jake Rogers just beating out Levi McIntyre. But I can only assume the caution came out for Daniel Day and James Qualls, quite possibly. Let's jump back, look at a replay of what happened. Well, this incident involves some others that I didn't actually know were involved. Right here is going to be the contact. It's going to come between, I think that was Bob Jones and Cody Lamas. Lamas gets turned down to Kyle Corbett. Then Corbett comes up into Joshua Collard in the 9. So the 42 and the 9 involved, and I didn't even realize it. They must have been able to drive away from the incident pretty quickly for me not to be able to notice, as there you see Bob Jones, evasive action there to go down pit road. Dylan Schwallenberg slides the tires in order to avoid, but he's going to slide passenger side into the driver's, or actually into the passenger side of the James Qualls machine. There you see Daniel Day trying to go around the high side. He's going to hit the Kyle Corbett machine. That's where he got his damage. We have received word, though, that he has left pit road. And where's James Qualls? Because we know he's going to possibly get a piece of this. Here he comes. Right there. Side swipes the 18. His car going to go sliding as well. Second incident that the 15 car has been involved in today. Man. The Panhandle Toyota not doing so well here today. After he's been so consistent in the past few weeks, and more damage on his car. I think he has actually returned to the racetrack as well, though. Charles Jackson has also come down pit road. He was a lap down car. I think everybody, amazingly enough, that was involved in this incident has still continued on. We'll go back now for confirmation. So we're ready to go back to green flag racing. Luke Walker up to pit stops is the leader. Green flag will come back out here on lap 16 of 40. That should give us a total of 25 laps to go here today at Dover. Luke Walker is the leader, Dylan Poteet 2nd, then it's Trent Dunham in 3rd. There you see Daniel Day. He's now a lap down after they had to have extended stay on pit road to repair the damage on his 22. Wolfgang Mason is in 4th, and 5th place is Jake Rogers. Levi McIntyre is in 6th. Austin LaPlante now worked his way up to 7th after some pit strategy. Sean Galligan in 8th. 9th, Chris Washer, and Cassandra Renzi completes the top 10. The rest of the top 15 for this restart are Zach Rogers, James McLeod, Drew Austin now up in 13th, Joshua Michaels, and Sean Henley complete the top 15. Now all three of the Tweenix boys are up inside the top 15 here. So we'll move up here to the leader. In the 2, Luke Walker, 2 lap cars on the inside line for him to have to contend with. And we have received word that James Qualls has indeed taken his battered number 15 back behind the wall. Tough break for James. Came in 12th in the point standings after running only 8 of these 9 events. And it's going to be a tough DNF for him here today, as he's been involved in both of our cautions so far today. Green flag back out. Lap car's not going to be a factor, at least for the top two. Trent Dunham trying to get around them now, and looks like he has cleared them. Wolfgang Mason trying to do the same. Jake Rogers as well. And Levi McIntyre. They have all cleared the lap traffic of Daniel Day and Charles Jackson, so the top six have been able to get away so far. It's a good battle here as Dylan Poteet starting to close in on Luke Walker, but I think we really should look back here too, as drivers still trying to get around Charles Jackson and Daniel Day. Austin LaPlante, Chris Washer, Sean Galligan having trouble doing that. Zach Rogers back here. This could be the trouble spot, as they're still trying to get around Charles Jackson. Daniel Day appears to actually be up to speed with these guys. Yikes. They're racing crazy back there. Contact back there. I think that was with Lyndon Wright. Lyndon Wright, Dylan Young, William Duncan all racing crazy back here. Oh man, Ralph Mason nearly cut off Lyndon Wright there as they're 3 wide now with Jacob Lawler. Is the caution out? Caution's out. Caution waves again. I don't know what for this time. Look out. Look out. Everybody trying to make sure they don't wreck each other here under the yellow. And there they go. Lawler has spun it, and oh boy. Jake Cole might have gotten a piece of it. Well, looks like everybody got away okay. Oh, and it's Cody Lamas. 13th in points, a former winner this season, is the reason that this caution is going to come out. Luke Walker was able to hang on to the lead. Let's jump back now, see what happened to the 77, our winner from Auto Club. Or not Auto Club, I'm sorry, Las Vegas. Well, I actually saw this happening. I saw Lyndon Wright go way down the racetrack, and there you're going to see contact right there between, I believe that's James Silver Fox and Madison Sieber. Sieber apparently did not take too kindly to Silver Fox doing that, but she comes back up the racetrack. She's going to then get into the left front of Zachary Robinson, who is making his final start in that 24, by the way. And oh my goodness, Cody, oh my! Riding the catch fence and the outside safer barrier, both him and Madison Sieber. And those are two drivers coming running well in points there. Cody comes in 13th in points, but Madison Sieber comes in 14th in points. Oh my goodness. And the one car actually going to go over on her roof and barrel roll down to the inside. Oh my goodness. This was a wreck far more worse than I expected it was going to be. Good heavens. And Cody's going to go around the one machine. I guess Madison Sieber teleported immediately to pit road, and that's why we didn't see her. Oh no, I guess she was able to fire it up and continue on. But I did not see the damage on her machine. Oh my goodness. That was a scary wreck here at Dover. Cody Lamas and Madison Sieber both wall riding here in turn 1. And it was after some contact between James Silverfox and Madison Sieber. Zachary Robinson also gets a piece of it. Let's jump back now to the restart as we are now past the halfway point. Well, before it looked like we were going to get away with maybe 2-car incidents, single-car incidents, and not really a lot of hard-hitting incidents, but now the garage area is beginning to pile up with cars. James Qualls, we know, has already taken his car back behind the wall, and he's being joined now by Madison Sieber. Amazingly enough, Cody Lamas is still on track in the 77. There he is without a hood after his wild ride along the turn 1 safer barrier. But he still has continued on. Austin LaPlante is also way back there. I don't know what happened to the 6 machine. He may have come down pit road for some pit strategy or something, but nonetheless, he is starting way back at the tail end of the lead lap field. It's going to be Luke Walker, Dylan Poteet, Trent Dunham, Wolfgang Mason, and Jake Rogers. That's going to be the top 5 to get us back underway here at Dover. The 2 lap cars of Daniel Day and Charles Jackson still going to be there on the inside line as the green flag is back out. Walker gets a good jump, so too does Poteet. They're going to clear the lap traffic again, heading into turn number 1. Everybody else trying to get around that lap traffic. Looks like everybody is succeeding in doing so. Zach Rogers back there in 7th place is the next car to try and clear the Daniel Day machine. And it looks like he hasn't quite been able to do it. Don't forget that it looks like he's done it now. Because don't forget, Daniel Day is up to speed, even though he's not in the lead lap. And Dylan Poteet is going for the lead. And he's going to clear Luke Walker, and he will go back to the point. Dylan Poteet only led about the first 2 or 3 laps today, and then Luke Walker passed him by and has led all the rest so far, but now Poteet's going to take a turn out in front again. Walker back to second, Dunham right there in third. Then it's Wolfgang Mason, Jake Rogers, and Levi McIntyre the top 6, and the caution flag is out again. Not incidents up at the front of the field, but incidents near the middle and rear of the field, apparently, because we are not even seeing them. We're just seeing the caution lights. And again, it's going to be another incident, looks like, coming out of 4. Wait a minute. Is everybody clear there? Whoa, look out, look out, look out. Sanford was there. Schwallenberg, second in points, was there. Oh, there's Ralph Mason in the 09, and these leaders are going to have to be careful. Slithering their way through these damaged race cars. There's Cody Lamas they're bypassing. He may have been caught up in it. Oh, wait a minute. LaPlante, what are you doing? Yikes. He nearly just took out the leaders there. Nearly LePage the leaders. Who else is involved in this? Kyle Corbett's on pit road. I saw Sanford there. Oh, Ian Dutta is involved. Wait, is that Jessica Shelton in the 3? It is. The course light colored Chevrolet is on pit road. Zachary Robinson's on pit road again. Henry Nova's there. There's LaPlante. Oh, Jake Cole's got a lot of damage on his car, and I thought I saw some damage to the Bob Jones number 38. Drew Austin's badly damaged on his 54. There's the 7 of George Roque on the apron. Oh, wait a minute. Is that the points leader? I think I just saw the points leader, Dylan Young. I may be wrong. It may have been Cassandra Renzi because they run similar colors. But it is Dylan Young, the points leader on pit road. Oh my goodness. First and second, at least we know, on pit road or damaged. Schwallenberg was smoking in turn 2. Dylan Young's on pit road. And just like that, stuff is starting to happen. Dutta has completed his service. He's back on the racetrack. Harrison Langford's got damage. Lyndon Wright's got damage. Where's Bob Jones? I'm pretty certain I saw damage to the 38. Oh, looks like Joshua Michaels may have some damage to his car. 8th in points. There's Bob. Looks like there could be some rear end damage to the back of his machine. Front end damage as well on the Shell Chevrolet number 38. Everybody else, for the most part, looks like they're okay. Up here towards the front of the field. Dylan Poteet is the leader. Hitting the stripe here, we got a total of 13 laps to go. So let's jump back and take a look at a replay of what happened. A big wreck this time in turns 1 and 2, and a lot of top guns, including first and second in points, involved in this one. And this one's going to start with the 54 of Drew Austin, our winner from Phoenix. Right there, contact between Harrison Langford and Chris Washer turns Washer down into Drew Austin. Charles Jackson's going to get pancaked there into the safer barrier. He comes down again into Washer. Washer then back down to Langford. And Langford's car is going to go for a spin. Now this is where the trouble spot's going to be. Oh, Sanford, nowhere for him to go. Jessica Shelton's caught up behind this. Ian Dutta is caught up behind this. And it's just going to be a complete pile-up. Oh, man, Dylan Young didn't even slow down. He got rear-ended by Ralph Mason, Corbett, Nova, Lyndon Wright, and Bob Jones. And he's up and on his side in the middle of all this mayhem. There's Austin LaPlante on the inside. Let's see if you can see these other drivers that are piling in. There's Schwallenberg, Kyle Matthews, Robinson in the 24. And Cody Lamas is held up behind this as well. However, this wouldn't account for the damage received by the 7 of George Roque. And that car you're seeing the undercarriage of, that is Dylan Young's car, which I believe actually ended up on its roof. Smoke pouring out of the hood of the 24 car of Zachary Robinson. Up ahead, Ralph Mason. And I'm looking here, I'm trying to find a lot of front runners in points, and I'm seeing quite a few of them. First and second in points, Dylan Young and Dylan Schwallenberg, we already mentioned, but also add into there Chris Washer, 7th in points. Ralph Mason, 9th in the point standings. Cody Lamas, again involved in an incident, 13th in points, as we had said before. So there are a lot of top guns in the point stands involved in this one. And, oh, wait a minute, Ralph Mason. Oh, then Schwallenberg. What in the world happened to those two? Well, we know Schwallenberg's going to make some contact with Kyle Corbett. But how does Ralph get turned around again? Oh, looks like Ian Dutta is going to punt him out of the way right there. Clips him in the right rear. Mason's going to spin up the racetrack. And I can't tell, is Ian Dutta smoking? No, it's just Ralph. Ralph Mason's day is undoubtedly over. And then right here, you're going to see Kyle Corbett come in full speed. He's going to sideswipe the 18 of Schwallenberg. Schwallenberg then going to spin around, and he's going to go right into the back of the 09 of Ralph Mason. But we got to find George Roque, because something happens to the 7 car as well. Okay, here he is. Does he get involved in something else further up here, maybe? Or does... Oh, I'll bet you he runs into the back of Joshua Michaels here. What do you bet? Coming out of turn number 2. Everybody starts slowing up. Trying to find some real estate. And let's go a little bit further. Sooner or later... Oh, wait a minute. Oh my! No, it was Henry Nova. Full speed ahead. Didn't even stop. As all these drivers were deciding whether they were going to come down pit road or not. Watch on the right side of your screen. Here comes the 32 of Henry Nova. He's going to just run straight into the back of George Roque, straight into the back of Joshua Michaels, straight into the back of his Penske teammate, Daniel Day. I don't know what Nova was trying to do. He was probably trying to get to pit road, but there's no reason for him to come full speed like that. Oh, and there's Jake Cole. What happens to the 21? Because he's got a lot of damage on his machine. He all of a sudden has to stop in order to wait for the 32 to teleport back to pit road, but who does he hit somebody? Let's see here. So far, so good on the 21. Doesn't appear to run into the back of anybody here. Was it something to do with that actual caution flag, maybe? Take a look here. This is when everybody was leaving the scene of the accident. And, oh, yeah, okay. He was involved in this incident, and I just didn't see him. Gonna see right there. Oh, Ralph Mason was the one that punted Dylan Young into this. And there is Jake Cole. Yep, he gets into the Ian Dutta machine. And just look at the cars here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 12, 15, maybe about 15 to 18 cars involved in this one. And I'm not even seeing these drivers down here on the inside. I'd say there were a good 20 cars involved in this. I don't think that's too far-fetched. I think there are about 20 machines all in this pile-up. That's certainly a far cry from what we've been having today. Big wreck. A lot of big-time names in the point stands involved in this one. We could have a new points leader leaving today, so we're going to head back now for the restart. Well, tremendous job to NNSCRA safety crews for being able to get turns 1 and 2 completely cleaned up here for us to be able to go back to green flag racing. There was a lot of sheet metal and debris down there in that area. They have cleared it up. The field was able to go through there, as you saw. Nobody appears to have any problem as far as tires or anything, so we're ready to go back to green flag racing here on lap 30 of 40, giving us a total of 11 laps to go here today. Lots of lap cars on the inside line, including Daniel Day, Charles Jackson, Kyle Corbett, Dylan Schwallenberg, Charles Sanford, and I believe that was the 7 of George Roque back there as well. Dylan Poteet will be the leader on this restart with Luke Walker second, Trent Dunham third, Wolfgang Mason is in fourth. Fifth place is Jake Rogers, then it's Levi McIntyre sixth, seventh Zach Rogers. The rest of the top 10 are completed by Zach Campbell, James McLeod, and Sean Galligan. And I'm hitting the wrong button. So a big opportunity here for two drivers in particular. Luke Walker and Levi McIntyre, they have an opportunity to maybe leave as the points leader today, especially Levi McIntyre. As Poteet, Luke Walker, they get away again. Those two have been really good on restarts, getting around the lap traffic. Trent Dunham now trying to get around Daniel Day. Looks like he has succeeded, and now the top three have all split up. It's about maybe 4 car lengths in between first and second, then another 4 car lengths back between second and third. Just to update you on the drivers out of the race after the incidents we just saw take place, and there are quite a few of them. George Roque, Jake Cole, Ralph Mason, Henry Nova, Zachary Robinson, and the points leader, Dylan Young, as well as Jessica Shelton. They join Madison Sieber and James Qualls back behind the wall. So far, we're still clean and green. Poteet the leader, then about 3 car lengths back to Luke Walker, then about 6 car lengths back to Trent Dunham in third. Kyle Corbett is a lap down, but he and Charles Sanford have been able to clear some of these guys, as Jake Rogers still having a big amount of trouble with the lap traffic. Now Sean Galligan going to try and use Ian Dutta as a pick to go for 4th off of Jake Rogers, but Rogers going to hold that position. Now look who's right behind Sean Galligan. It's Sean Henley in the 69 machine. The Viagra Pfizer Chevy out of Tweenix Racing having a good run right now. And Cassandra Renzi right behind him, also having a good run. She's trying to get underneath the lap car of Charles Sanfer. As right now, the top three almost seem to be reeling in each other here. Poteet still about 3 car lengths in hand over Luke Walker. Dunham, though, has reeled in Luke Walker to about maybe 2.5 car lengths. So we may have a battle for second, or these two may catch Poteet, and we'd have a 3-car battle for the lead, or potentially the win. The odds of us going green the rest of this way I don't think are too good, though. Especially with a whole bunch of lapped, damaged race cars in the middle of lead lap machines. So these three are going to have to bunch up and battle quickly because time could be of the essence. Next time around it'll be 5 laps to go. And as soon as we hit, I think, about 3 to go, we will end up finishing this race under caution if the yellow comes out. We would not get back to green flag racing. So definitely a sense of urgency for Luke Walker and Trent Dunham. Walker has been to victory lane already this season. Poteet and Dunham have not. And Dunham's going to go by. He'll take second place from Luke Walker. Nice clean pass and a quick pass, too, for the Bass Pro Shop Chevy. As now he's going to try and run down Dylan Poteet in the Caterpillar Chevrolet. Are there any slower cars that these guys will have to contend with? There's Schwallenberg. He's crossing the start-finish line in 33rd. The other drivers, right now the leaders, on the back straightaway, so it's a whole half a racetrack before they encounter any machines that could be damaged and off the pace. So I think we'll be good as far as lap traffic not playing a factor into the finish of this race. 3 laps to go, by the way, and Luke Walker, all of a sudden, who was one of the most dominant cars today, him and Dylan Poteet, the 2 strongest, all of a sudden is starting to lose touch with second place Trent Dunham. So it may be Poteet and Dunham who are going to settle this thing out. Jump back here. Sean Galligan is now in the 4th position. 5th place now is Henley. Cassandra Renzi up in 6th. 7th is Jake Rogers. Anthony McCrory now all of a sudden up in 8th. James Silverfox, we saw him way at the back. He's now up to 9th. And James McLeod is currently in the 10th position with Wolfgang Mason right behind him. Where did Levi McIntyre go? There he is. All the way back in 18th place right now. He wants to leave as the points leader, and the white flag is out. White flag is displayed. Dylan Poteet currently the leader, but Trent Dunham is all over his back bumper. Will he make a move here? Coming out of 4. He's trying to look. Poteet's blocking every line he can, and he will hang on. The pole sitter goes coast to coast. Dylan Poteet wins here today at Dover. And amazingly enough, that is his first win of season 7. And Trent Dunham going to have to settle for a runner-up spot. I think Trent may have actually been planning his move 1 lap too late, because you saw him actually dive out of line there, coming down to the start-finish line into turn 1. But Dylan Poteet was able to get back around Luke Walker after losing the lead early on. Hangs on here in the final green flag run and will win the Last of Us Left Behind DLC 300. He had already clinched himself a spot in the All-Star race with 2 wins last season, but this is going to be another little star in his pocket, as he will be in the All-Star race as a 3-time winner in the last season, or in the last year or so. So Dylan Poteet with the win. Let's take a look at our official finishing results here. I'm actually quite surprised we went clean and green all the way to the end there. I was really expecting to have another caution come out. Trent Dunham going to have to settle for second place, but a good run for him. Trent comes in this race 28th in points. This will help move him up through the standings. Quite a few drivers in front of him in points had some tough times here today, too, so we could see Trent up inside the top 20 with the runner-up finish he had today. Luke Walker is going to finish the day out in 3rd position. Now, we're going to be looking in a minute to see whether he or Levi McIntyre will be the points leader heading next week's race, or if Dylan Young may be able to still hang on. But good run for Luke Walker, 4th in points. He'll get 3rd today. Sean Galligan, 5th in the standings. Really didn't talk about the Powder Blue Aspen Dental Toyota today that much, but really good run for him in 4th. Sean Henley, good run for the guy who comes 11th in points. He'll get 5th, so he'll be up inside the top 10 in the standings. Cassandra Renzi, tough luck the last couple of weeks. Now gets a good top 10 run with 6th. She came in 15th in points. She could be inside the top 10 standings when we leave today. Jake Rogers kept his car inside the top 10 all day long. The Heinz Ford going to be finishing with a top 10, so he came in 32nd in points. How about Anthony McCrory, the Audi? Great run, finally gets a good run here. Nice to see him running well, and he came in 38th in points. This is definitely a well-needed run for him today. James Silverfox, nice run for the Turner Scott Motorsports machine. He and Cassandra Renzi, the only two Turner cars that really did well today, as we know that Henry Nova and Dylan Young had trouble today. But Silverfox comes in 19th in points. We can see him up inside the top 15 in points. And James McLeod is actually going to finish in the 10th position, comes into this race 30th in points, and amazingly enough, it looks like the Tweenix boys are going to finish all inside the top 10. Poteet with the win, Henley in 5th, and James McLeod in 10th. So Tweenix Racing, good run here today at Dover for all three of their machines. But let's now take a look and see what the points battle is going to look like. Now, Dylan Young finished out of the race in the 39th position. In order for Dylan Schwallenberg to take the points lead, he would have to have finished in position number 29. Where did he finish? Schwallenberg, I can't even find his number. Where is he? Oh, there he is, 33rd place. So he did not take the points lead away from Dylan Young. Now the next driver we got to look at is Levi McIntyre. He would have had to also have finished in 29th or better. Where did McIntyre officially finish? He finished in 18th place. Now, in order for Luke Walker to have taken the points lead away from Levi McIntyre, because we now know McIntyre is currently the points leader, Luke Walker would have had to have finished 16 positions ahead of Levi McIntyre, which would technically be second place, and Walker finished in third. So I believe that it's going to be a 1-point advantage that Levi McIntyre will have over Luke Walker heading into next week's race at Infineon. So it gets ever closer in the point standings, and those two are going to be fighting tooth and nail, you can bet. Levi McIntyre, not only the rookie points leader leaving today's race, but also the overall points leader, as he's been having quite a stellar rookie season. But congratulations to Dylan Poteet on his first Mobil1 Cup Series win of Season 7, and congratulations to Levi McIntyre on a good, consistent run to get the points lead here in the Mobil1 Cup Series standings. Hope you guys enjoyed today's race. If you did, be sure to give the video a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. Here comes your official finisher results, overall points, stands, and rookie points heading into next week's race as we head to another road course at Infineon on the West Coast. Snickers Cup Series race will be coming up here soon. Hopefully it'll be just as exciting as our trucks and Mobil1 Cup Series races have been here this race weekend. As you've been watching the production of the History Offline Racing at its best.